in human beings. See, as we have already gone through sexual reproduction in flowering plant, now we are going to deal with the human beings. So far, we have been discussing the variety of modes that different species use for reproduction. Let us now look at the species that we are most interested in. See, humans, humans, namely humans, use a sexual mode of reproduction. How does this process work? See, what they're trying to tell, when humans, we can say they are going through the sexual reproduction. So in human being, how this process is going to work, we need to learn. See, firstly, let us begin at an apparently unrelated point. All of us know that our bodies change as we become older. You have learned changes that takes place in your body earlier in the class 8th also. See, whatever these things are mentioning, they are telling that we are undergoing through the adolescence period, or we can say teenage period, transitional state. At that time, we have been converted from a kid to adult. So, some of the certain observable things or observable characteristics we have observed within our body. We notice that our height has increased continuously from early age till now. We acquire teeth, we even lose the old so called milk teeth and acquired new ones. See, as per our height, gradually it increased from firstly we are toddler, firstly we are toddler, after that we are start walking, after that we have started running, climbing, jumping, all those things not at that time. Gradually all these things are taking place in our body. Similar way, we have earlier we have milk teeth which is going to fall off. After that, what is going to happen, the new, we can say, permanent teeth is going to arrive. Okay, so this is what the certain changes which is taking place in our body. All of these are changes that can be grouped under the general processes of growth in which the body becomes larger. See, these are what we can say, these are the mandatory but general processes which is taking place in our body, and the body is becoming gradually larger in size. But in early teenage years, a whole new set of changes occurs that cannot be explained simply as body enlargement. See, in the early stage of teenage period or adolescence period, some interesting changes are going to observe. Sometimes it is observable and sometimes it is not. See, instead the appearance instead the appearance of the body changes, proportion also changes. New features appear and so do we new sensations. See, whenever we are telling about the height, gradually it is increased, but it is individual, depends on individual's growth. It is different from person A to person B. Okay, as well as this is proportionated. As I'm saying, if we are comparing two boys of same age but they having a different body proportion, how different body proportion, we can say in the height, we can say in the width, we can say in the weight. Different proportions we can take. After that, what is going to happen? Out of them, both of them, one may start developing the beads and mustaches, and one still doesn't. What it show? What it show? See, both of them having the same age, but the development process is somewhat vary in both of them. After that, even the sensations, new type of sensations are going to generate due to hormonal changes in their body. Some of these changes are common to both boys and girls. See, as we are discussing about the teenage persons, so some changes will be common. We can say maturation level, it will be same somewhat, but when we are describing about the physical state, it will be completely a different case. Okay, mental state we can compare there in the boys as well as in the girls. Mental state of them can be same. We begin to notice thick hairs growing in new parts of the body, such as armpit and the genital area between the thighs, which can also become darker in color. See, these are, we can say these are the most common features appears when the secondary sexual characteristics are going to develop. First thing, the development of thick dark hairs under the armpits as well as on our private parts. It may be a girl, it may be a girl. It may be a girl or it may be a boy. Both of them having this features. Okay. Thinner hair can also appear on legs and arms. Say, if the person don't have body hairs on their hands, legs, or back, stomach, but when they are hitting to the puberty, when they are entering to the adolescent period, at that time what is going to happen? The thin hairs are going to appear on their arms and legs, as well as on face. See, sometimes it happen in both the personalities, male as well as females. The females, some of the females also develop fine hairs on their face, on their mustache like appearance, like beard appearance. But in females, what is going to happen? It is very thinner, or it may be in light colors. But what about the boys? It is thicker as well as dark in color. Next, and their voice. Boys begin to have, wait, the skin frequently becomes oily and we might begin to develop pimples. See, this is the most common people in adolescence people. They are facing this problem. Out of 100, 90%, 90 to 95%, they are facing this problem. Some of them, maybe we can say, they don't experience this as early. We begin to be conscious and aware of both of our own bodies and those of others in new ways. See, um, the adolescents are going to get the curiosity to know the body features of their own as well as the opposite genders. Next, on the other hand, there are also changes taking place that are different between boys and girls. See, some of the changes also taking place which we cannot describe easily. In girls, breast size begin to increase. This is the most important feature in the girls, and with darkening of skin of the nipples. See, the front part which is used for the lactation purpose, that is going to become darker as the girl is going to mature. At the tips of the breast, it is what it is darker in color. Also, girls begin to menstruate at around this time. See, first menstruation of the girls, we can say puberty is going to begin in the girls at the beginning of menstruation, that is nothing but the menarche. Boys begin to have new thick hairs growth on their face and their voices begin to crack. See, the boys on their face the hairs are going to develop, that is nothing but the beards and the mustaches. After that, their voice is going to change completely as their childhood. It is completely different from their childhood. Okay. Further, the penis occasionally to begin to become enlarged and erect either in daydreams or at night. See, this is going to happen sometime. The reproductive part is going to get erect in the males, maybe by thinking something or during night. All of these changes takes place slowly. See, over a period of months and years. See, whatever the things I have mentioned, these are taking place gradually, not at once. They do not happen at all at the same time in one person, nor do they happen at an exact age. See, if I compare two girls with they having the same age group, but one girl is begin their menstruations and another still doesn't. So this is due to what? It is exactly not same in every person. It may be vary from person to person. In some people, they happen early and quickly, while in others, they can happen slowly. Also, each changes does not become complete quickly either. So, for example, thick hairs on the face in boys appears as a few scattered hairs first, and only slowly does the growth begin to become uniform. See, as we are discussing about the secondary sexual characteristics, in this, if we are considering a male, on their face, the mustache and beards are going to develop, but it is not as exact as now. When it is going to begin, in some persons, it is only like a scattered hair, one or two on a places. But after that, what is going to happen? Gradually, that one, two, after shaving, by removing that, trimming, all those, some thick hairs, we can say fuller hairs are going to develop. See, even so, all these changes show difference between people, just as we have differently shaped noses or fingers, so also we have different patterns of hair growth or size and shape of the breast or penis. All of these changes are aspects of the sexual maturation of the body. See, individual body has different shape as well as the sizes too. As if we describe in the girls, the breast size is not uniform in every girl. It may vary from person to person. The similar way, the penis size is also differentiated from person to person in males. Why does the body show sexual maturation at this age? We have talked about the need for specialized cell types in multicellular bodies to carry out specialized functions. See, As earlier we have discussed about this, germ cells need specialization. That's why we are going to be mature. The creation of germ cells to participate in sexual reproduction is another specialized function. And we have seen that plants develop special cell and tissues type to create them. See, human beings also develop special tissues for this purpose. However, while the body of the individual organism is growing to its adult size, the resources of the body are mainly directed at achieving this growth. See, once we are converting from a child to adult, at that time several changes, we can say emotional, physical, and biological, all those characters are going to happen. Okay, and it is mandatory to have all those characteristics in our body. The maturation of the reproductive tissue is not likely to be a major priority. Thus, as the rate of general body growth begins to slow down, reproductive tissues begin to mature. This period during adolescence is called as puberty. See, whatever the characteristics are developing, we can say approximately in between the age 10 to 19 years. The whatever changes are beginning, it is beginning at the age of 10 or 11 years. Okay, so that stage only we can say it is a puberty. Whereas from that to 19 years or 18 years is known as what, transitional period or adolescence or teenage. So how do all the changes that we have talked about link to the reproductive processes? See, we must remember that the sexual mode of reproduction means that germ cells from two individuals have to join together. This can happen by the external release of germ cells from the bodies of individuals, as happens in flowering plants, or it can happen by two individuals joining their bodies together for internal transfer of germ cells for the fusion, as happens in many animals. If animals are to participate in this process of mating, their state of sexual maturity must be identifiable by other individual. Many changes during puberty, such as new hair growth patterns, are signals that sexual maturation is taking place. See, we can say development of pubic hairs, underarms hairs, all these are what, the signals that puberty is about to hit, puberty is about to begin. On the other hand, the actual transfer of germ cells between two people need special organs for the sexual act, such as the penis when it is capable of becoming erect. In mammals such as humans, the baby is carried out in the mother's body for a long period of time and will be breastfed later. See, whenever the gestation or the pregnancy is going to occur, with the help of both the parents, it is going to carried out by females in all the mammals. The reproductive organs and breast will need to mature to accommodate these possibilities. See, if we are discussing about the female, then along with reproductive parts, the mammary gland should be developed. The female reproductive organs and breast will need to mature To accommodate these possibilities, let us look at the systems involved in the process of sexual reproduction. See, if we are dealing first with the male reproductive system, these are the parts. So, it is what the bladder, or we can say urinary bladder. Below that, we have one of the glands, we can say accessory glands, prostate glands. Above that, we have seminal vesicle. It is one of the accessory gland, and the pipe-like structure is connected to the bladder. That is nothing but the ureter. It is connected from the kidney. After that, here we can say it is an external genitalia. The constituent or the components of the external genitalia are penis, urethra. Urethra is nothing but the common passage for semen as well as urine. After that, the testis, and testis is covered with the scrotum. It is a muscular pouch covered to testis, and it is going to provide the body temperature. It is going to reduce the temperature about 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius as compared to our body temperature. Next, the testis is connected to the vasa deferens. These are also the tube lines, we can say, passage for the transfer of sperms. Next, the male reproductive system, as we have gone through now only, consists of portions which produce the germ cells and other portions that deliver the germ cells to the site of fertilization. Germ cell means here sperm is going to refer. The formation of germ cells or sperms takes place in the testis. In this part, the development of sperm is going to takes place. These are located outside the abdominal cavity in scrotum because sperm formation requires a lower temperature than the normal body temperature. Okay, as I said you, the spermatogenesis only going to happen if the temperature of testes is low, or we can say it is approximately 2 to 2.5 degrees Celsius low. Then only the spermatogenesis is going to happen. We have discussed the role of the testes in the secretion of hormones, testosterone, in the previous chapter. In addition to regulating the formation of sperm, see, testosterone brings about changes in appearance seen in boys at the time of puberty. See, if lack of testosterone means no development of mustaches, beards, and broadening of chest, development of Adam's apple, all those things are due to presence of what? Testosterone hormone. The sperms forms the sperms formed are delivered through the vasa deferens, which unites with the tube coming from the urinary bladder, the urethra. Thus forms a common passage for the both sperm and urine. Along the path of vasa deferens, glands like the prostate and seminal vesicles add their secretion to that. The sperms are now in a fluid which makes their transport easier, and this fluid also provides nutrition. And that fluid name is what? Seminal fluid. The sperms are tiny bodies that consist of mainly genetic material and a long tail that helps to them to move towards the female gametophyte, or female gametes or germ cells. See, now we are going to learn about the female reproductive system. The female germ cells or egg are made in the ovaries. They are also responsible for the production of some hormones. See, these are what? The oviduct or fallopian tube, and this is ovary. It is connected with the ovary. Here, this inverted pear-like structure is known as what? Uterus. After that, it has a, we can say, exit terminal point, that is nothing but the cervix. After that, a passage is present that is nothing but the external genitalia. In females is what? Vagina. Okay, see. Now, when a girl is born, the ovaries already contain thousands of immature eggs. On reaching puberty, some of these start maturing. One egg is produced every month by one of the ovaries. The egg is carried from the ovary to the womb through a thin oviduct or fallopian tube. See, whatever the egg is released is going to enter to a oviduct or fallopian tube from the ovaries. After that, what they are going to do, they are going to release on every month. See, whenever we have our periods or menstrual cycles, at that time either one of ovary or sometimes the exceptional case both ovaries are going to release one egg. Okay, the The two, do, the two oviducts or fallopian tube unite into an elastic bag-like structure known as the uterus. See, we are also knowing this uterus as womb. The uterus opens into the vagina through the cervix. The sperms enter through the vaginal passage during sexual intercourse. They travel upwards and reach the oviduct where they encounter the egg. The fertilized egg. See, when the male gamete and female gamete are uh, traveling and they are going to interact with each other or fuse with each other. After that, the zygote is going to form. The fertilized egg is referred to as zygote. It starts dividing and forms a balls of cells of embryo. The embryo is implanted in the lining of the uterus. This process is known as what? Implantation, where they continue to grow and develop organs to become fetus. See, we have seen earlier section that the mother's body is designed to undertake the development of the child. Hence, the uterus prepares itself every month to receive a mature to nurture the growing embryo. The lining the lining thickens and is richly supplied with blood to nourish the growing embryo. See, here the blood capillaries and blood vessels are going to develop every month in the form of endometrium wall. The embryo gets nutrition from the mother's blood with the help of a special tissue called placenta. See, as we know, the placenta is what? It is an organic connection between the maternal tissue and the fetal tissue. See, this is a disc which is embedded in the uterine wall. It contains villi on the embryo's side of the tissue. On the large surface area for glucose and oxygen to pass from the mother to embryo. The developing embryo will also generate waste substance which can be removed by transferring them into the mother's blood. Through the placenta, the development of the child inside the mother's body takes approximately 9 months. The child is born as a result of rhythmic contractions of the muscles in the uterus. See, if I summarize this method, what is going to happen when the zygote is formed? When the zygote is formed, at that time, it is going to divide rapidly in the form of blastomeres. The one part which is formed after zygote formation during cell division is known as what? Blastomeres, and it is going to convert into a embryo. After that, certain more events are going to take place like gastrula, blastula, morilla, all those things. After that it is going to convert into a fetus. See, while doing all these things, is going to develop in between the mother and the fetus. Okay, so that is responsible for the supplement of nutrition and removal of the toxic substance. All those things are connected to our connective tissue, mother's connective tissue. That is nothing but the organic connection is responsible for all those things, and the mother is going to carry that fetus approximately 9 months. In unexceptional cases, it is approximately 7 months. The child, say, all these processes are going to lead, but it is going to remain forever in the mother's womb? No, it is going to come out from the mother's body. Due to rapid contractions and relaxation, we can say rhythmic contractions and relaxation of uterus. Mainly, uterus consists of three layers: endometrium, myometrium, and the perimetrium. See, endometrium is blood lining which is happening every month. If the fertilization doesn't take place at that time, the endometrium is going to shed in the form of bleeding. That is also known as menstruation. But if the fertilization happen and the 9 month of pregnancy occur, at that time it need to get out from the mother's body. So that process is known as what? Parturition. And it is going to take place with the help of contractions and vigorous contractions and relaxation within the myometrium wall. Okay, see, one of the condition we need to discuss: what happens when the egg is not fertilized. See, we are telling that fertilization, if fertilization is going to happen, at that time the pregnancy is going to happen. But if fertilization doesn't occur, what happened to that egg? See, if the egg is not fertilized, it lives for about 1 day. Since the ovary releases one egg every month, the uterus also prepare itself every month to receive a fertilized egg. Thus, its lining become thick and spongy. This would be required for nourishing the embryo if fertilization had taken place. Now, however, the lining is not needed any longer. So the lining slowly breaks and comes out through the vagina as blood and mucus. This cycle takes place roughly every month, is known as menstruation. It usually lasts for about 2 to 8 days. See, it means that if the egg is not fertilized at that time, the lining, inner lining of the uterus, that is nothing but the endometrium, is going to shed. It is required for the developing embryo, for passing of nutrition and all those things. But here, if not happening, means it is no more needed. That's why it is going to shed in the form of bleeding as well as in the form of mucus. Okay, viewers, hope so you are enjoying, you are entertaining, and you are understanding my lectures, explanations, whatever the things I am dealing with. So today I am going to wind up this, and tomorrow we'll meet at the same time. तब तक के लिए अल्लाह हाफिज़, दुआ में याद करना, and keep like and share and subscribing to my channel. अल्लाह हाफिज़, दुआ में याद रखना.